Welcome to Drumard Farm, episode 14 with me, MrSealyp. I am, surprise, surprise, still waiting on potatoes. This seems to be the story of my life at the moment. On Lawfolds, I'm just waiting for poplars that just don't seem to want to grow. On Drumard, I'm waiting for potatoes, which just don't seem to want to grow. Anyway, I'm over at Drumard Arable, so while I'm waiting, I thought what I would do is have a wander out the back here to field 13 and do a little bit of contracting on a part of the map I haven't really visited. It's just I've been over here quite a lot of the farm and haven't actually been at the back here. So field 13, it's a fair sized field. Let's have a look. What are our options? Field number 13, 2.87 hectares, 232,000. James Harris, I haven't done any work for him. So let's do a job. Is that the Optum? Oh, that's nice. Optum, dual twins, and the Kuhn sprayer, boom sprayer. It's a nice part of the Kuhn pack. It's a brilliant bit of kit, this. I love the way it opens. This has got quite a wide reach on it, actually, this one. This has got the same boom width, I think, as the New Holland Guardian boom sprayer, the big SP, I can't remember what it's called now. But this is a trailed unit and is way cheaper as well. And I've really messed up getting that straight. And I realised also I'm wasting my time. I didn't get very long to do this. Right, so I might get a case Optum actually. Maybe for this farm. With the dual wheels, that gives you a lot of options. I think it's up around 313 horsepower, so not ridiculously big, not unnecessarily large, but I think that will fit on the map quite well. Take the duals off, it's a nice sized tractor. I might well do that. There we go, so that's the sprayer. And there's my forestry equipment just over to the right there in the woodland. Well, in the woodland that's left. I've already been hacking away into that. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of rounded off at the corners on this one. I think probably because there's trees in the corner. I think if I bought this at any point, I'll probably cut those trees down in the corner and square off that edge. Maybe, I don't know. Just give you a little bit more growing space. Right, it's not a bad sized field. I shall see you at the end. I'll tell you what I've just noticed, which is actually bothering me quite considerably, is the fact that the trailer's got row crop tyres on, as has the tractor, but it's leaving crop destruction in its wake. Horrendous crop destruction. That's not right. So am I kind of driving around all over the place? I'm catastrophically destroying these crops. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to do that. The tractor's not doing it, it's the trailer. But the trailer has row crops on, that should not be doing that. What did I get? 4,000, 5,000 pounds. It was a great job, he's absolutely right. I am pretty good at what I do. No missions available at the moment. I've done one job for James Harris, so the price of that field has dropped a tiny, tiny amount. Right, well that's another contracting job done anyway. Back to Drumard Arable. Oh, I don't know what to do about these potatoes. I need to find another job to do, which is quite frustrating. I have a think. Any eggs to collect while I'm here? Don't seem to be. What are these eggs? What are these eggs doing? What are these chickens doing? If they don't start producing soon, I'm going to start making chicken pies. What I've decided to do while I'm waiting on potatoes and crops to grow and that kind of thing, I've leased some equipment. Got to speculate to accumulate. When I did my first silage harvest, I just cut grass, which that's why I'm growing corn in the field just over the back here, 24. But what I've decided to do is lease these two, the Rostselmash RSM 1403 or 1403, the Rostselmash grass header 500D. It's basically just a large mower. I've also leased the Joskin Drakkar because it's a bigger trailer. I'll get more in than the loading wagon. And I'm going to go around every bit of grass I can find and get some grass into that bunker silo down at the farm. That's what I've decided to do while I'm waiting. It's a good setup, this. Every time. Pipe out. Now, the interesting thing with the header on this one as well is the grass head is offset. More of it is this side than this side. It helps you to get closer into hedges and things like that, I guess. From inside you can see that side a lot easier for going up against hedges and fences and trees. That side's a little bit further out. Again, that is an assumption. I'm assuming that's why it's like that. I may help with some maintenance. That's what I'm going to be doing. Some field maintenance again for my neighbours. So let's turn this on and begin our field maintenance. Now obviously this is, rather than mowing, windrowing and then collecting with a loading wagon, this will do it with a slightly wider header a lot quicker. That being the theory. And the Rostselmash wasn't that expensive to lease either. The actual forage harvester was only 17,000 to lease. The header was, I think, about 1,700, and the trailer was the same. It wasn't a huge amount of money. It wasn't a big outlay considering the potential reward. If I do every grass field, all the ones at Drumard Arable, if I do all the ones that I own as well as all the ones that I don't, this is what I mean about the header being offset. I can get much further over. I mean, I can get further over anyway, but from driving you can kind of see where your header is. I'm assuming that's why it's that way. It's not adjustable. It's not like it can swing around or slide side to side. It's just fixed, but it is offset. Interesting little quirk. And the grass is going up fairly quickly. But as you can see, fairly quickly I can fill up a trailer. This will all go down into the down at the biogas cell point, into the bunker silo. Like I said before, I'm desperately trying to avoid taking those gold nuggets. I don't know why. I mean, I could just do that and my life would be so much easier, but I'm waiting on things to grow. I thought, I'll go and cut some grass. I thought, you know what, it's a different bit of machinery, a different way of doing it. The grass header. This is interesting. There were some comments made the other day about the forage harvesters and what's the point of using them. You can't set a worker and that kind of thing. You can for certain jobs. If you use the corn header, they're perfect for doing silage harvests. This header, as far as I'm aware, and it always was an FS15, it says it's a grass header, but this will actually cut down any crop and silage it, or chaff it, not silage it. So if I decided to drive across a barley field, it always used to work that way. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but it always used to. And the weird one that still baffles me, just going to stop the machine for 1 second, that I'm still really confused about. The point of a forage harvester is it turns things into chaff. That's its only job in life, it chaffs things. The headers, you've got mowers and you've got corn headers. Obviously for that's for doing poplars. But you've got these corn headers which are specifically designed for cutting corn and turning it into chaff. You've got these which are mowers. These four are mower headers, predominantly for grass. But if you look down the bottom, it will cut grass, soybean, canola, wheat, barley, and that will turn any of that into chaff. These ones here, and it says grass or hay, are for picking up grass or hay. Well, if these cut grass and hay, on FS15 these headers would pick up any straw swath. So if you left a straw swath on a field and it was straw, or you left a straw swath of grass or hay, it would pick it up, it would turn it into chaff. On FS17 it will only do grass or hay, which is really frustrating because a lot of my chaffing that I used to do was if I had a massive wheat field and I didn't need to do bales, I would just chaff it and it would make you money. Can't do that anymore. I'm going to continue. Anyway, stop rambling, get on with it. I have been asked a few times excuse me, how do I get my bunker silos so flat on the top? The answer, fill them. Just fill it. If I just unload here now, start with a pile and just keep piling up. A lot of people flatten their bunker silos out and level them and spend ages trying to get a level bunker. If you're only going to do a little bit, if you're going to do 2 or 3 loads, 150,000 litres, then yeah, flatten it all out, drive backwards and forwards with a tractor. If you're intending doing a lot, like trying to fill a silo, then pile it. When it reaches the fill level, when it reaches the level here at the top, it will pile up and then it will flatten when it goes just above the top. So if I keep building this pile up, once the pile, this peak, reaches the top, it will then start to spread rather than keep going up, and you get that flat top to it. So if I just keep filling this and filling it up, gradually moving my way forward, I need to drive over it and level it at the very top, and compact it will need to be done. Once it's done, I then spend a while going backwards and forwards compacting rather than between every single load. I just find that's easier. I could never get to grips with the levelers. They used to drive me bonkers. Now, here's the other thing. As you can imagine, as soon as I started doing this job, what happens? The potato fields are both ready to be harvested. You couldn't... Yeah, if I'd have put money on it, it wouldn't have happened, would it? There's that one nugget, look. The golden ring of money. So, what I'm going to do is set the potato harvester off. I'll have a quick look at that, get that going on one of the fields, and then I'm going to carry on cutting grass. The grass I will carry on doing off screen. You've seen me using this up on the other field. I'm going to do a lot of the fields around here, but the potato harvest is my priority. This was something to do in between time just to get some more stuff into the bunker silo. So potato harvesting it is. So I emerge through the undergrowth like an explorer, kind of. I brought the lorry over with the trailer at the end of the last episode. So here we are, the Grimme Tectron. Now I used this on Lawfolds in the last episode, and I tried to avoid kind of going into depth looking at the bit of machinery itself. Yes, let's unfold it first. So unfold it all. Lots of belts. They're kind of like, I think, a canvas rubberized type kind of thing, as far as I'm aware. Header opens as well at the same time. This wasn't cheap to lease, 30-something thousand. But like I said, now I've got the equipment to do wood chipping. One load of wood chips pays for the lease of this. So I could muck around with the cheaper equipment, the smaller equipment, but why? There's not much point. This has got a capacity of 20,000 litres. So when it reaches that, I need to get over here and unload. Now if you have a high-sided trailer, sometimes this can catch on it. And this doesn't adjust. So you just have to hope you can get under it. Or next to it, normally enough. Done it again. Turning it on. There we go. So we begin. Now this was the field I made myself. It's not a huge field. I don't know what the yield's going to be like. But like I said, the same as I did on Lawfolds, any potatoes I get on this, I'm going to store. I haven't got any storage actually. That's a good point. I might just get a shelter or a bunker or something rather than the storage building. and then these will be used for seed for the next lot I plant. I might get a larger field, I might... not sure actually, what am I going to do? Larger field, maybe? Or just reseed these, I don't know. We'll see what the yield's like off these. If the yield's quite good, I might just reseed these and use them again. The field up the top, field 30 I think it is. Am I anywhere near it? No, you can't quite see on there. Field 33. Field 33 I'm definitely thinking of ploughing that out, making it a bit bigger. This is the only problem I have when you make the maps your own by ploughing out fields, changing things, adding in placeables and all of the stuff you want to do to make the field your own. To make it a little bit more special. My wife's always saying I'm special. That's a good thing, right? That if there is ever a problem, if there is an update and it requires a new save game, all that work has to be redone. So yeah, I've just done well I say just done, you've probably seen it already by now, a second first look at the new Oldstream farm with all the new changes, the improved modded version, and it is improved, much improved. If you haven't had a look, go and have a look at the first look, and if you haven't played it, play on it. Brilliant, brilliant map. Actually the yield on this isn't too bad. Not bad at all. I'm wittering away while I work, of course, but that's what I do. Right, I'm going to continue this and continue the grass cutting too. We have a full grain tank, 20,000 litres, and the good thing about this, the trailer's not too high, so we'll go over it no problem at all. And that's the first load done. What's interesting is when I tried to set a worker on this for fertilising, it wouldn't work, but I've managed to set a worker on it for harvesting, so I'm not quite sure what the difference is, but the animations are pretty good, I have to say. The potatoes going up there directly up under the cab and then coming round, well, underneath all of there, up this back one and out into the collection tank, holding tank, I don't know what you call it. So up under there, it will start to come up under there. There we go. And filling up in there. Brilliant. The dust coming off the bottom of the potatoes. Oh, dust, mud. Not dusty potatoes. It's like a dust, but it is mud. Not a bad yield. I think the other field might be the same sort of size, maybe a tiny bit bigger. We'll have a look when we get onto that one, and we'll get all the potatoes out of the ground. I've got to decide where to put them. I really don't know what to do, whether to just put down one of those kind of storage shelters and just pile them all up in a storage shelter, because I've used the root crop storage building already on Norfolds. Plus it's 90,000, which, don't get me wrong, you can put 300,000 litres of potatoes and 300,000 litres of sugar beet in it, but I don't know, it's a big outlay. I don't know whether just to get a storage shed and just fill up the storage shed with potatoes. That might be my option, I think. I'm doing a kind of crisscross pattern across this field, only because it kind of works, actually works quite well. This Rostselmash doesn't like turning too tightly with the trailer on, and what I have noticed as well is it won't fill it to 47,000 litres. It gets almost there, about 43,000, and then kind of splutters and coughs a bit, and you're still cutting grass but it's not putting it into the trailer, so have to be careful. But it's working incredibly well. And that'll be this field done. It'll be knocking on almost another 20,000 litres. That's 40,000 off this one field. That's pretty good. The only downside, obviously, with potatoes and sugar beet is the price isn't very high for them. So whilst you get quite a high yield, you don't make a lot of money on them. So that's why the kind of the yield compensates for the amount. Do enough of them, you can make money. Especially if I'm using these to reseed the next two fields. It hasn't cost me anything in seed either. Or it won't cost me, shouldn't cost me anything. Actually, at this rate, I'm going to have just over 20,000 litres, aren't I? Not that's a bad thing. I'm thinking, oh, that's annoying. I'm not going to get it in this one load, but that's a good thing. The more I've got, the better. I do like the fact as well, because the tracks are central, it pretty much pivots on its axis. Wow! Without crashing everything. There we go. Typical, a tiny little bit left. Right, take this up the field and unload it. Get the last little bit, then I'll take the whole unit all the way up to field 33, and we'll get the potatoes off that as well. Looking down here as well, there's a lot of grass here I can be cutting, plus around the edges of fields, plus maintaining farmers, friendly farmers' fields, you know, the farmers I'm trying to help out. There we go. Am I too far over? I think I might be too far over. That's better. So that's 40,000 litres straight off the bat. 40,000 litres that needs a home. Right, finish this strip and moving up the field, and I can get some machinery in here to start with cultivating and preparing it for the next crop. Now, after the fun and games I had getting this thing here on the back of that low loader, I'm thinking I might drive it back to return it. It's going to be a lot easier than the alternative. I can't get through here. It's going to be tight. without damaging it too badly. This is a big piece of machinery to be bringing up here. I assume I can even get around this bend. Of course I can. With MrSealyp behind the wheel, there's nothing I can't achieve. Well, you've seen me drive before, you know that's not true. Yeah, I've got plenty of scope over here for actually extending this field. Even if I make it a funny shape, I could probably make it a bit bigger. I know I've said that before in previous episodes. It's all those kind of ideas I keep mulling over and thinking, well, I could do this, I could do that. Let's open this back up again. And away we go. Make sure I get lined up properly, otherwise it's going to be all over the place. And it's got a worker on it. Off we go again. I think this might be almost the same size as the other one. But I can definitely go wider this side, probably a little bit wider the other side. The multitasking never ends. The potato harvesting is going on way over there on field 33. I'm trying to cut grass on the field next to Drumard Farm. This has now entered its, well, second growth stage, but it's now showing through the ground. So it needs fertiliser spreading, which will put it on its last fertilising state, which means it can be left. And while that's happening, the JCB is over here on the field that I created. On field 32, cultivating. It was ploughed originally, so I've got another 2 crops I can do in this field. It needs ploughing again. So it's just going to cultivate it this time, then that will need fertilising as well. And then we can get another seed crop of some description back into this. So the whole process rolls around. The sunflowers are looking pretty good and could probably do with another spray as well. And field 24, I believe it is. Let's check the map. Yep, field 24. I sprayed that before I took the sprayer over here to field 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 29's in its last growth stage, but I'm sure it's only had 2 fertilisings. Plus it needs ploughing. Yeah, so that could do with another one. And field 33, although it's about the same sort of size as this, the yield is a lot lower because that wasn't ploughed either. So there's going to be a few ploughing jobs need doing too. And everything continues. We're building up the size of that snowball. And at some point we'll gain a bit of momentum. And we're going to start really making some money. I hope. I changed my mind, as I often do, and I have put the root crop storage building in. I wasn't sure where I would be able to fit it, but actually it fits in here rather well. I've given myself space at the back so I can back a vehicle in this way to load up whenever I need to, and the same thing, I can swing round and back up here. Just completed their task. Oh, both of them, okay. But the other thing I was thinking as well was purchasing a field near here to do potatoes rather than redoing them in the 2 fields over there, only because the root crops are going to be used by the pigs for feed, or I might sell whatever I've got extra. So they need to be over here and easily accessible. If I'm doing potatoes over the other side of the map, I've got to ferry them all the way over here to put them away. Whereas if the next crop of potatoes I do, for example, if I ploughed this field out, I could do potatoes here, harvest them here, stick them in there, use them here. I feel another plan forming in my head. Scary place that it is. My head, that is, not the farm. Yeah, that should be alright. I might do that. Watch this space. Perfect. Couldn't be better. Oh, I was looking and I thought it was a gate here to get into the field as well. Well, that'd be jolly handy. It's just a rubbish dip round here, isn't it? Look at the state of it. Oh, I don't know. I suppose round behind the barn. Out of sight, out of mind. If you can't see it, you don't know it's there. Right, it's back up to field 33. There's not much left to do. And then I'll think about what I'm going to do field-wise next. Carry on with the grass cutting, the fertilising is probably done over there now. Then it said the work was finished. And the cultivating on field 32. But I'm just trying to think. Time-wise, I think that we are at the end of another episode. They are absolutely rocketing by. Oh yes, I think he has finished. The fact he's right down here by the road. Need to move him in a minute. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. We finally got the potatoes done. We're doing some more work to get some more chaff to make silage. These fields are looking amazing now. The sunflowers here, canola, oilseed rape, just there. The colours are phenomenal. Still loving this map. It's brilliant. Apparently this was put together incredibly quickly. I don't know how. It is amazing. So, if you like the episode, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share the video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, thanks for watching.